taking it away today. So it's all yours, Josie.
Okay, we started recording. Hi, welcome everyone. We've already started sharing and swapping all these fun tips. And but please come on, jump on. And we see there's quite a few people saying this is their first time on. So, welcome. This is going to be all of these oil talks are special. This is Oil Talks 4 p.m. on a Friday. And it is our special BOGO edition. If you don't know what BOGO means, that means buy one, get one free. But sometimes you buy one and get two free. And this was a really special week with doTERRA. It's their big Black Friday, Christmas, birthday. It kind of brings to mind all of those Hanukkah, all those things, because it's their gift to us where we buy certain oils and we get these other ones free. And the savings with your wholesale account and your loyalty rewards, it adds up to like you're getting the oils for like 90% off of retail. So it's amazing. And this was the first time we all got the chance to buy them all at once. Usually it's every other days, but we got the chance with the BOGO box. So we are going to hopefully be a little unhinged, raw, and sharing and just having a lot of fun. Aisha and Erin and I are going to start it off, and we're going to share with you about some of the our favorite kind of testimonials, tips, and recipes with the BOGO oils. And then we're going to ask people as we go through the oils in the chat, if you have a recipe, a testimonial, or a tip that you would like to share, please share it in the chat. And because we might call on some people to come up and have a little share and unmute themselves. But if you know that, you don't feel like talking, you're in the closet. We have a couple of people who are like, Tiffin, I'm going to share her share because she's on a huge construction project at home. And she's like, I'm not getting on the camera, right? I think she's with us. That's fine. Just say in the box, don't share. No, don't call on me, but give your share. Okay, thank you. Great. And I wanted to start off, I'm going to screen share for a second because if people are on here and they don't know all the oils that we are, that happened in this BOGO week. I took a little picture for everyone to peruse this bounty. So we have frankincense touch, neroli touch, rose touch, beautiful blend touch, citrus bloom blend and a citrus bloom touch, pink pepper, lavender, balance, serenity, spearmint, lemon, and eucalyptus. I know, sorry. My thing isn't saying that. I don't know. I have the wrong format. So I'm sorry. There's no play button. Sorry, it's not big, everyone. So that was just, I thought there'd be a nice visual for everyone to see, right? But we just really want to hang out with everyone. So there you go. Those are the oils that are up for grabs. If you have a special story or tip or something to share with involving any of these, there you go. That's it. That's our, so I'm going to stop share, bring us back. Erin, do you want to start off with, any of we're going to start with I'm going to call up, we'll go through the oils. I want to call up frankincense and rose together, just because I know there's so many times that we kind of like to use them together. They're kind of familiar. And if you want to call in neroli, because that's all a lot of skin stuff, but kind of let's stay in the realm of frankincense and rose. Did you want to
hold on, Josie, will you turn your phone off, your phone ringer, so we don't hear it dinging when it comes through?
Yes.
Dinger, Josie the dinger. Okay, so what I love about frankincense, rose touch, and neroli touch, so specifically the touch oils, because you can get rose and frankincense as a pure oil without it being in a roller and without the fractionated coconut oil. What I love about the rollers is they are already in fractionated coconut oil, and then the ball has it's stainless steel. So if you put it in the refrigerator and you just let them live in the refrigerator, Then, and all those oils are great for your skin. Then if you wake up in the morning with puffy eyes, you can roll, right under your eyes. If you get a sunburn, all of those oils would be great to rub with the cold stainless steel ball on your sunburn. And this actually got from Dr. Jody.
Yes.
And it is like if you do the micro needling or any kind of intensive exfoliation and your skin can get a little, red and irritated, you do those roller balls on there. And I just love that. So I keep a set in the refrigerator. Let's be honest, I am an oil addict. What that means is I've got oils in the refrigerator, oils in the kitchen, oils in the bedroom, oils in the bathroom, oils in the guest bathroom, oils in my purse, oils in my diaper bag, oils in my car. So there's like multiple sets of all of this. So that's why I love BOGO week, because I can stock up. So that's my little tip for those touch bottles, specifically the floral ones and the frankincense, which is already good for your skin.
I love that. Let's just go back and forth, the three of us. Yeah. I had heard that from Dr. Jody, but I forgot. I love this when we come together because it's like, yes, oh, that's perfect. And I talked a little bit about this today, but I want to go back again. Really, I love taking especially my rose touch. And as soon as I get it, I save my old rose touch bottles, right? If you don't have an old rose touch, then just get an extra bottle, 10 ml that you like. I pop the top off and right, they have those oil popper top things that you can do that help do that, but you can just get a little nail file I use sometimes, or a butter knife. Does anyone, I don't know if you have a better idea. And I whittle it and then top it off. And I use a dropper bottle and I do 50-50. So now I have 2 roses that I can play around with and do blends and do things. So I love to combine it with frankincense and or sandalwood. There's just something about the rose touch and sandalwood that is divine. And it's really fun to play around and start doing that. And then like just have rose and sandalwood and kind of like soak into that and feel that. And then add a citrus, your favorite citrus, like tangerine or green mandarin or clementine or wild orange, and see what that feels like, right? Or bergamot, which you said, like bergamot, sandalwood, and rose. Oh, it's so amazing. So those, I love working with the touches that way. Aisha, do you have any?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
So we talk about this a lot with rose, but I want to remind you, in case you don't know, that rose is the oil of divine love, and it is to be known of the oil with the highest vibration. So we all have a vibration, and that can fluctuate. When our vibration lowers is oftentimes when we become ill. The things that we eat, the things that we do, it all constantly is affecting our vibration. So by bringing rose into your energy field, it automatically strengthens you. And Dr. Jody could not be with us today, but rose is her favorite oil. She talks about it a lot for not only skincare, but also it is the oil that has deeply helped her with some of her own personal transformations. And before I share that, I want all of you to think, do you have like one oil, like your soul oil, like the oil that you feel like almost transformed you, either emotionally, physically, spiritually, your desert island oil, like the one oil that you could not live without? I'd love for you to write in the chat what that oil is. The oil that might have helped you realize something about yourself or uncover something about yourself that you weren't aware of, or help you move through a pattern in your life and help transform that pattern. I love seeing all the answers: lavender, neroli, balance, frankincense, ylang ylang, Douglas fir. So awesome, right? Everybody has a different one. Well, rose is that oil for Dr. Jody, and this is what she wrote. I asked her if she would just write a little simple tip for us.
Sure.
And hold on, let me mute there. And she wrote, I get goosebumps when she thinks about rose. It restores individuals to authenticity. So I'm going to say that again. It restores individuals to authenticity. How many times during the day do we start to drift away from our authentic self and actually betray ourselves? Like my brain and my heart are out of coherence. So rose oil is that oil that brings us back to our authentic self, back to coherence. And then she says, I just did a quick heart math coherence touch to my heart while inhaling rose to reconnect my brain and my heart to restore authenticity to my whole self. So if you're feeling disconnected, you're challenged between the heart and the mind, put some rose on, smell it, and help bring yourself back to your authenticity. Okay, back to you, Josie.
Beautiful, thank you. I was looking on the feed and someone asked how many drops of sandalwood to rose in that ratio, and so in a half bottle of the Rose Touch, I like to do around 15 to 20 drops of sandalwood. Either one, they're both wonderful. The Hawaiian is a little has a little more spice to it and gentleness, and the Indian is a little sweeter. And you get to specify when you order on doTERRA. Someone else asked that, like which sandalwood. Yep. And in the refrigerator, oils are fine in the refrigerator. Freezing is not advised. Freezer, no. Refrigerator is okay. Let's see. And
I'm talking about neroli right now, Josie, because I want to make sure we cover that one, because oh my goodness.
Yeah, do you want to talk to neroli? And let me see if Dr. Mika was on. She had to share about her plant spirit medicine experience with rose that she wanted to share.
Okay, I'll talk about neroli while you're checking in with her. Neroli is such an incredible oil, and now that you all have it, I hope you use it every single day. Of course, it's going to be great for stress management and your skin and anxiety. It's very relaxing to the central nervous system. This is a completely luxurious thing that I would recommend you all try at some point in your oil career. And it's where you take your favorite lotion base or oil base. So that might be shea butter, coconut oil, or I just love the doTERRA unscented lotion. It's perfect. And you put a dollop in your hand, and then you add like 3 or 4 drops of essential oil to that dollop and rub it all over your body. Now, of course, if you're in a relationship, it's much better if someone else rubs it all over your body. And neroli would be an excellent, excellent one for this. I did this practice last night to myself. I was massaging my skin. I'm pregnant, so I'm helping my belly's skin. And I did it with cedarwood and ylang ylang. And so, you know, when you lotion up your whole body, you have to do like 4 or 5 dollops of lotion to really get your whole body. So I did 4 drops of essential oil with every dollop. So in the end, I had like 20 drops of ylang ylang and sandalwood or cedarwood all over my body. And I just had like the best night's sleep. So do that with neroli. If you're feeling luxurious, you can pop the top off. I want everyone to know this. This is really important with touch. You can get the whole top off by using this as a kind of like a bottle opener. And you can pop it off. I'll show you. I just popped that off there. So you could actually get quite a few drops of that neroli, do it. But the thing I want to make sure you know about neroli is there is research out there about how cancer cells don't like neroli. And so for women, rub it on your breasts every day. It's perfect little roller. So it smells so good. So I just put it on my skin after a shower right there every single day. And we'll talk about pink pepper, I'm sure, in regards to this too, but pink pepper and neroli combined is the Tata happy blend. Keep those tatas happy. So I just want to make sure you all knew that about neroli.
Oh, that is fantastic. And I didn't know that about popping the top off. And we go into it even deeper, like the tata really for the C word stuff is you think about oils of neroli, pink pepper, frankincense, and sandalwood. as a base, and then there's other ones you can add, but those are really important. So let's
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can see me.
We can see you now, and you're unmuted. So yeah, do you want to share your plant spirit experience, Rose?
Yeah. I was wondering why you guys couldn't see me before. I'm using an old computer. Hi. Okay. First of all, before I talk about plant spirit medicine, I don't know if you guys remember Rose for molluscum contagiosum for the kids. So huge. Erin, I bet you totally remember that. So molluscum contagiosum is those little warts that some kids can get, the babies get, and they eventually will go away with time. But what usually happens is they burn them off. With the pediatrician will burn them off. And I have who's part of our team is Dr. Nicole Lang, who's a well-known pediatrician in Washington, D.C., and she decided to try the rose, followed by, I think it might have been frankincense, you guys, for her children, her patients with molluscum contagiosum. The rose touch, though, it's the rose touch for that. So remember molluscum contagiosum, MC, or just facial warts on little babies. They'll go away. It's just like new parents, they get concerned and worried, and you don't want them to be burned off, right? And so rose touch. Okay, so remember that one. Kind of like what Aisha said about plant spirit medicine. Oh my gosh. It's about the wise queen. So when you are out of alignment, right, or betraying yourself, call in or slap that rose on your entire, I just did. Can you see I'm really oily? And it'll bring you back to your royalty. You can take command. You can walk into a room and command yourself. He's not commanding the room, but people will honor that. You know how the wise queen is honored just for standing there and being in integrity with herself? This is it. So if you feel like I call it collapsing, energetically collapsing, then I definitely reach for Rose to take command of me and my energetic integrity, my wise queen, because we all have them. And yeah, so remember that, the wise queen.
Oh,
Honor yourself. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can continue on. So the molluscum is a common thing that happens with kids, and it's fungal. And they usually grow out of it because their immune system builds up and their immune system gets strong enough, and it eventually fights it off unless they're really immune compromised. And so, but it can be, for some children, it's going to be really bad for a while. But we see it works so well for that because it has rose. We're not, supposed to talk about this as much, but it's effective. I think we've said in the thing against MRSA. So that's methicillin-resistant staph infections. So those are all the microbial infections that antibiotics cannot treat because they have become resistant to them, and they are really nasty. People can die from these infections. They can get out of control very quickly. And to have something so simple and easy for the skin to be able to have a wide range from that to the molluscum, like it's just there. So think about creating blends that have the highest level of effectiveness against nasty bugs, to all kinds of microbes that we don't want messing around with us and our immune system and our skin, and the fact that it's so gentle on our skin. We can use it on babies in this touch version.
Josie, I want to speak to that really quickly. If
Yes.
there's anyone out there that has a newborn baby or a young baby and they get sick, On Guard's a little intense for a baby. And even if the mother is nursing and she takes them On Guard internally, my baby gets a rash if I do that. So what a blessing it is to have rose. And that's why they put rose in the stronger blend for kids, because it is so powerful, serious immune support. But just remember, if you have a baby, a little newborn baby struggling with something, you can feel completely safe to rub some rose touch on their spine, rub it on the bottom of their feet. And it is going to be, I would dare say, Josie, Aisha, if you agree with me, Mika, that it's more powerful than On Guard rose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I want to add something. On the other side of that, elders' skin gets thin over time. And a lot of times the On Guard or like the deep blue is too strong for their skin, but they're having pain, especially when they're about to transition, like they're dying. I help people die and transition. And rose and frankincense is amazing to rub on the bottom of their feet. And, you know, families want to engage. But when people are elders who are transitioning, oftentimes any touch might be a little bit too intense. But if you use rose, remember that's rose and frankincense, like you can diffuse frankincense, and then the family members can just gently use the rose touch on the bottom of the feet or in the palms of the hands. That can really help elders when they're uncomfortable or when they're transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I start? Thank you, Mika. And I know all of us will have some more to say about, we talked about this on the last call, but I want to bring it up because someone's private messaged me in here about urinary tract infections, UTIs, and that's very common for all of us women, yeast infections and all of those kinds of things. And kind of with these, and these are the oils that I like to work with for things to be able to be using in the vaginal canal and tissues, because they have that dual action of being so antimicrobial and antifungal, but so gentle. So you don't like, rose is precious, and so sometimes people don't want to use it, but rose would be a wonderful one with frankincense and neroli. The other oils I think of are, and part of our is lavender, right, and geranium as the main ones for doing in a blend. You need to have it very well diluted with a carrier oil. Coconut oil is a good one, but whatever oil you know of is to be good for yourself. And we talk about just using this on your finger and then inserting it in the vaginal area and doing that 2 or 3 times a day. You can get a small tampon and make a blend. And Mika, do you like the blend would be, I make mine because I know I can handle it, but as people pointed out, you want to start back and make it much more dilute. So probably in about a 2-ounce bottle of carrier oil. So you can get about 2 ounces. Check and see what that's like in a bottle. You'd maybe want about 10 drops. Do you think that's a good place to start, Mika, of like 4, if you're using 4 essential oils, so 40 drops of essential oil and about 2 ounces of carrier oil? What do you guys think? Is that a good starting place for people? Erin?
Yeah. And just, there's some clarity. This is not just for a UTI. We're talking all vaginal issues and just vaginal health in general. Like, it's not a bad idea to have a maybe weekly self-care routine where some of these oils are applied internally. And let me just give you the other side of that. Coconut oil and some of these essential oils like rose, neroli, jasmine. There's a blend called Passion Touch, which was not in here, but they make excellent intimate lubricant massage blends. So whether you're just doing this as self-care or you bring it into the bedroom, it's just great for general vaginal health.
Yeah, because
right with dryness, yes. Thank you.
Already, touch means it's already in a carrier oil, so you're like, things are moving along and you don't want to take too much time. You just go like that. And now I have some good stuff on my hand and I can put it places, right?
Vaginal dryness and with perimenopause or menopause, another blend that I make is the rose frankincense with yarrow palm.
Mm.
So, or inflammation of the labia or excoriation of the labia.
I'd like to add too that a lot of the florals are euphoric, so rose, neroli, jasmine, magnolia. So if anytime you feel like you want a natural high, like you think about why do we bend down and smell a flower and stay there for a while? So just think of that, like if you're feeling like you need to just have some comforting, the energetics is a rocking motion, like a mother rocking her baby. So if you need that nurturing energy at any time, you can bring in rose or neroli or any of those wonderful florals for that.
Yes, I just thought of something. Thank you, Ari. I want to finish up with the person who asked about the UTI. So that's what you can be doing in the vaginal area and the canals. And then you want to be doing an oral thing like taking a capsule of antimicrobial oils. And topically, the blend we talk about, rubbing it on the whole lower abdomen is really nice, but also drinking water. Juniper berry is a really great one for tonic. So through the month, all of those together, and the LLV. Okay, I wanted to move on because an old tip from one of the early days that Dr. Hill gave us about for women's health and menstrual cramps was his two favorite oils. There's lots of oils that are wonderful for menstrual cramps and cramping in the abdomen, and both food cramps and menstrual cramps. I've used just neroli, and it works really well with cramping. But his two were Roman chamomile and bergamot for cramping, for menstrual cramps, because they're both high in this constituent called esters, and they're for pain relief. And so guess what has bergamot? Where is it? Our beautiful blend. And guess what has Roman chamomile? Our citrus bloom. So wouldn't these be layered on your belly? Those two would be fantastic. You could also add the neroli, but you have some really great cramp oils right there.
Can we start talking about beautiful?
Yeah.
Of?
Go for it.
What an amazing blend. So if you don't know, this blend came out as a special gift at our annual convention, and you could only get it if you went to this gala party. Then people loved it so much that it came out as a promo. We do have it as a body oil, but we have not been able to get this roller in a long time. So who totally freaked out when you realize you're getting beautiful? I want to tell you some special things about it, and then we have a testimony from Ellen, so get ready for that. So beautiful, it smells amazing, but it's a very simple blend. It's osmanthus, bergamot, frankincense, and lime. And of course, we all love frankincense, like he does everything. I want to bring your attention to lime because it's actually really good for the respiratory system, and so is osmanthus. Osmanthus is a decongestant. So if you are dealing with any kind of respiratory congestion, you could rub it on your lung points, but you could also put a couple of drops in a steam and let that steam in through your brain. Osmanthus is also, Dr. Josie pointed this out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, it's in deep blue. And you know why? Because it's good for pain. It actually works with the brain when it comes to your pain experience. And at the same time, it's relaxing to your muscles. But also, osmanthus is like so incredibly powerful for anxiety. I even found a research study today that said they looked at people getting colonoscopies, which you totally freak out about, right? And they used osmanthus to calm everybody's nerves down, and they saw huge, huge results in that. So think of it for anxiety. And that brings me to Ellen. Where are you? Why don't you come on and tell us your beautiful emotional testimony?
Hey, I love beautiful. So all week I have been waiting for Friday because doTERRA always does something crazy on Friday. And I was just like not disappointed at all. Like I stayed up last night and I waited, and I texted a friend. I was like, what if it was beautiful blend? Like I would freak out. And at 11:01, we were texting each other like, oh my God, it's happening. If you guys have not tried Beautiful Blend and you got the box and it's like on the way to you, like get ready to love it so much because it's amazing. Like Beautiful Blend, which I hoarded last time we got it, is actually like super aromatically complex, but it's actually only 4 oils. So it has osmanthus, as she said, it has lime, frankincense, and bergamot. And while some blends have like a billion different oils in them, like this one it just like hit the mark like so beautifully. Like it smells like, trying to describe it. So it smells like it's a warm summer day and like people are cutting the grass and there are flowers blooming and the ice cream truck goes by and you get a limesicle and it smells like happiness. It smells like heaven. Like it's so good. So I sat down and I was like, why does this smell as wonderful as it does? And of course, I always turn to this book, which is called Emotions and Essential Oils. And if you guys don't have this book, I'm in love with it. I think it's green now, the new edition. Yes, it smells like Skittles. Everyone in the comment section, you're absolutely right. It smells like Skittles. It's lovely. So I just want to read you the description of lime in this book. So lime is one of the main oils in Beautiful, and the lime is the oil of the zest for life. So everything that we're going through right now, the hardship, the grief, the frustration, the miscommunication, I just want to bring that back to these oils being selected by doTERRA for that purpose. And lime is the oil of elevating you above grief, giving you courage, giving you cheer in your heart, and reminding you to be grateful for the gift of life. So that's really huge. It says that lime can assist individuals who have overly developed their intellectual capacities, but have neglected to develop yourself emotionally. So I just think that that's such a huge aspect of why this blend is so successful. And of course, osmanthus is like, it's like liquid crack. It's so good. So anyways, you're gonna love it. It's amazing.
Wait a minute. Where's your testimony? I wanted your testimony, your personal testimony, Ellen. I know you got a good one.
I just get so into it. Okay, so basically the first time that I opened Beautiful Blend, I was just going through some hard stuff and I ordered it kind of on a whim, as we do sometimes when something comes out. And it was kind of like meant to be, because when I got it in the mail and I opened it up, it was just like it hit me with a ray of sunshine, you know, like it was so happy and uplifting. I had a lot of anxiety at the time and I started carrying it in my bag. And even though I knew that I had only bought one of these, I was like, don't hoard it. Don't like leave it on the shelf for a special occasion. Like, you need this. This is what you needed at the right time. So I started carrying it around all the time. And there have just been like so many times where I just grab it out of my bag and I'm just like, you know what? I can't deal with this today, but this just elevates me. It brings me up and it reminds me to be my best self. Like there have been so many times where like I could have reacted one way to something and I just roll it on and I just take a really deep inhale and I'm just like, you know what? Like everything is good overall. Like everything is going to be okay in the end. Like you're going to order a blend on a whim. It's going to be the right thing for you. Everything's going to work out. I'm rambling. I love being
Thanks, Ellen. Should we move on to Citrus Bloom, or which one you want to do next?
Citrus Bloom.
Okay, so Citrus Bloom is another wonderful oil for the emotions. And specifically when it came out as a Mother's Day promo. So it's another one of those blends that you can't buy. It was a promo. We all loved it, and then you can buy it, and you never know when it's going to come back. So when it came back in this BOGO, very exciting. But specifically what it's really good for is deep, deep depression. So if the darkness consumes you or someone that you love, diffuse this oil all day long. Give them a massage with this oil, apply it to their spine. The touch is going to be so perfect for that. It's also really great for children with behavioral issues, especially those on the spectrum. So again, just diffuse it in their environment. If you all are homeschooling right now, citrus bloom is going to be a great one to put in the diffuser to help the kids with their homework and focusing. I'm really curious about the touch. I think it's so great that it's coming in the touch, but boy, I just love it in the diffuser. The aroma makes me so happy. It's like springtime. So I'm excited for y'all to get citrus bloom. And if anybody has any other citrus bloom or beautiful tips, please put them in the comments. We love to hear what you use them for.
One thing to shout out is, I don't know if people, it was in some, realize that both are sort of two of our biggest signature blends, Deep Blue and Balance, both have osmanthus in them. So we are familiar with osmanthus, it's just in these blends. Yeah. Well, I can move on to, I wanted to call in Dr. Louise Rose. We go back and forth between like beautiful stuff, and then let's do a little bit of medical stuff. She's got a great recipe that I think goes back to frankincense, really, and some of the stuff we talked about on our last oil call, which is how to work with, there's the vaginal canal, but then there's the rectal canal, so rectal suppositories. And Louise, Dr. Rose, are you on here with us?
I am indeed. Hello, hello. So yes, everybody's been all abuzz about rectal suppositories. And there's lots of different ways to do them, but the reason that we do them is because the blood supply in the rectum goes directly up the spine right to the lungs. It's like the fastest way to get medicine to the lung area. So in this crazy time of viral craziness, it might not be a bad idea to make some rectal suppositories just to have on hand in case anybody in your house gets sick. You could also use them for, hemorrhoid or dysbiosis or other things like that. But what I would recommend is using an oil that is solid at room temperature, like coconut oil, cocoa butter, shea butter. Those would be my top choices. And I get a lot of those supplies at Mountain Rose Herbs. It's a great place to get those. They sell cocoa butter in little wafers. So it's easy. You don't have to melt a big block of cocoa butter or scoop it out. You can just do the wafers. So you would want to do a ratio of about 1 tablespoon of carrier oil to about 6 or 8 drops of essential oil. And my recommendation, I think originally when Ariana and I were doing the call on and Mika on thyme oil, thyme is a fantastic oil for the lungs. And it's, it's kind of spicy, but it's actually relatively mild. It's pretty soft. So a couple drops of thyme, and then Siberian fir, which is brilliant for the lungs, and frankincense, of course. So you can open your frankincense touch, or you can use just straight frankincense. So if you're melting the carrier oil, and then after you take it off the heat, then you stir in your essential oils. And you can buy a suppository, like a silicone mold. But honestly, what I do is I just take like a piece of tin foil and I shape it into a little boat, a little small boat. And then you pour your melted cocoa butter oil mixture in there, and you let it cool and harden. And then you cut it into little, maybe 1 centimeter size pieces. You can wrap them up, store them in the fridge. They're going to melt easily. And then what I would do is just insert it before bed, and that way you're not, you're horizontal and it's going to stay in there longer. Let's just put it that way. Is that what you're looking for, Dr. Josie? Oh, I
Just
can't hear
muted.
you.
I just want to add what oils you would use for that. So frankincense is going to be wonderful for that. What's that?
Yeah. Thyme, frankincense, and Siberian fir was my first recommendation, but there could be other oils that would be useful. Josie said spearmint the other day, and I was like, ooh, that sounds kind of stingy, but it's pretty mild, and spearmint does move mucus and phlegm, and so it might be a good one too. What other suggestions?
Your recipe for lung health and moving and mucus and phlegm. And I was surprised that you said, no, the thyme is actually not too intense. So it's frankincense, thyme, and Siberian fir.
Mm-hmm. And rose, maybe, right?
Oh, I totally do rose. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Always rose. Rose and frankincense.
Eucalyptus, asks Lotus.
Eucalyptus would be wonderful. It's also a great one.
So look, and now we all have a lot of eucalyptus.
Somebody asked about oregano. I think oregano would be too spicy, for lack of a better word.
Can you tell us again the ratio of oils to carrier oil?
So 1 tablespoon of carrier oil to 6 to 8 drops of essential oil. And you'll probably get several suppositories out of that, 2 or 3 out of 1 tablespoon.
That 1 tablespoon will give you one little boat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'd probably want to do more than that if you're going to go to the trouble to make them, but that's just the ratio.
And I would say, if you are in a rush or you're a busy mom, you can also take a little fractionated coconut oil, put a drop or 2 of whatever oil you want to use, and just use your finger. Yeah. And that works well, like if you have a hemorrhoid or something.
Absolutely. I also have a couple of culinary recipes with pink pepper. I know we're not talking about pink pepper yet, but I just wanted to mention while I'm on here that I'll post them on my Instagram feed. So if anybody wants access to those, it's Rose Cabinet is my Instagram.
I think we should totally move on to pink pepper, Josie, don't you?
Yeah. I'll circle back. We can circle back because I have someone who asked about HPV when we were in the vaginal canal. And I think that's such a common thing. I would like to circle back to that, but let's move on to pink pepper. Well, pink pepper is part of my HPV recipe. So, hey, let's just go there. But I did want to say Asha had a shout out in the thing. I'm just going to read her share. I wanted to share about neroli being incredible for libido. The year they came out with at a convention, I was using it like crazy, and I could not believe how quickly it stirred those feelings in me as a middle-aged woman who doesn't feel as much as I used to when I was younger. It was huge. So share it with your lady friends. Okay. Yeah, Louise has amazing salad dressing and pink pepper, right? My pink pepper recipe, which we already have up on the Oil Talks, is for my favorite tea. I think it's mild, and it's with the 5 favorite oils of in warm tea water. I do frankincense, so I start with the trifecta: frankincense, copaiba, and Siberian fir, and then I add on pink pepper and tangerine. And I think it was just delicious. I'm a little hardcore, and then I will add turmeric in there, but that makes it not so delicious for a lot of people. So you can decide on that one. And it really is those things. Think about frankincense, copaiba, Siberian fir. Siberian fir, besides having it help with the lungs, is really well balanced. Dr. Hill, when he brought it out, likened it to lavender and the citrus oils in terms of just a broad spectrum of benefit for us in terms of our healthy cells, something that we can take internally every day for our health. So that's Siberian. And then I'm going to read to you a little bit about pink pepper and how that's something we really can and should be taking every day for our health, and then a citrus like tangerine. So that's really a tea or a water blend that is a kind of everyday health one. Erin, do you want me to go right into pink pepper? Do you want to share anything about it, or want me
No,
to
I think you should go into pink pepper.
Okay. I'm going to do a little screen share with everybody. Okay. It's a little old school because it's me. Oh, I didn't talk about my, I thought I'd put this up, right? Remember this, my face caviar, before I go into pink peppers. It has so many. We'll share this, but this is my favorite way to use all my favorite oils for my face serum for the morning, for the day. I make a 10 milliliter roller. I pop those tops off of my rose neroli and jasmine, and I do 15 drops of each of those, and then frankincense. You can do frankincense as a touch as well, and then sandalwood, cedarwood, copaiba, blue tansy if you have it, and green mandarin. 30 drops of yarrow palm, and then fill the rest. This is the yarrow palm, and then this is what really makes it caviar, is fill the rest with Virage Immortelle face serum. Boom. I love it, and it is just about as amazing as you can get for your face, I think. There you go. So let's move on to pink pepper though. So we'll put these up. These are some of my Scooby notes from when they brought out pink pepper at convention. And Emily Wright had a special little call, and she talked about it herself to some of the leaders, and she really called it the superhero oil. It is like that it has the overall best benefit internally. From the throat, she and Dr. Hill were like, the throat to the rectum, the whole thing, the whole tube. And for every cell in your body. They really could not say this loudly enough, that the chemistry of the limonene, which is what we see in citrus oils, with that cleansing and uplifting that we know citrus oils have, together with this high amount of alpha-flavonoid, right? 15 to 30%. And some of it was ranging from 30 to 37%. It's huge for the immune system and our cells. Blue tansy has 5 to 5.7% of this, so so the pink pepper is much higher in its alpha-flavonoid content. And then alpha pinene, right? We see alpha pinene 3%. That's a lot what makes frankincense, some of frankincense's magic with our cellular health. And then look at this, how we talk about it. This is without saying the C word. Alpha-flavonoid acts to protect and nurture cells so they are not damaged from things like oxidation, helps our cells to divide in a healthy way and not mutate. We call this healthy cell mitosis and apoptosis. So healthy cell mitosis is cells doing their thing, dividing healthy, and apoptosis is healthy cell death. Activates the NK cells are like some of our big puppy immune cells, right? When we get these activated, our immune system is like, yes, I can fight anything. And then with neuropathy, right? We think of a wonderful thing to put together with helichrysum and blends that have helichrysum and blends that work against the nerve pain. Anti-inflammatory, it's very antimicrobial, both gram-negative and positive. So look at this. They really recommended, like, add pink pepper to your On Guard. Add pink pepper to Melissa when you're coming down with anything. You're going to be supercharged and ready. So this basically says the same things I just said here. But the big things to think about with pink pepper is like, oh my gosh, add it to Aroma Touch for nerve pain. I would add some helichrysum in there too. So you could add deep blue as well because it has a helichrysum in it. Any of those, but that's a beautiful, and not just, neuropathies, diabetic neuropathies, these kind of things. And then DDR, add it with your DDR for total body cellular health all the time and fighting off anything that is making your cells not work right. So that's my little take home on, so we can see why, right? We're so excited about pink pepper, and it tastes delicious. It's not intense. You can almost add it to anything. It has a lovely smell.
Can we go back to then this concept, if you're wanting, I see a lot of women on this call, right?
Yeah.
We all want healthy breasts for a long life. So I'll tell you what I do, and I'm wondering if you'd add anything to this, Josie. So I've got the daily neroli on the lymph, and I put it here because that's like where the lymph can get kind of bogged up. I dry brush every day, and I add green mandarin and pink pepper to my dry brushing routine. So you could either put it straight on the dry brush, you could make a body oil, rub it on your body. If you don't know what dry brushing is, Google it. It's awesome. It helps move your lymph. So that moves everything in your breast tissue to help it get out. Then I'm going to take DDR Prime every day. I'm going to drink wild orange, and I'm going to add pink pepper and green mandarin to my internal routine. I could also, if I was like, well, it is the time that my boobies are screaming and I need to do something right now, I would make a massage blend, probably of rose, frankincense, sandalwood, wild orange, DDR, pink pepper, green mandarin. And I would massage that into my breasts multiple times a day. So I would hit everything a lot harder. Would you add anything else to that?
That's amazing. I love that.
Can I
Lavender.
share mine?
Yeah. I was going to say lavender is always good to add in, and rotating them, right? So like, I think our cells like us to do different things, you know? And so playing around, like making that massage blend, and then the next time making it a little bit different. So let's hear Diane's.
Yeah, I love that you reminded us of that changing things up. I think that's a really important thing, and I have to remember that too, because I get very stuck on my routine. But I do my version of my booby blend is what I call it. Is I use Clary Calm as the base, and then this is what I do: Clary Calm along the hand and along the uterus. 2 drops frankincense in the mouth, 2 drops in the hand, 2 drops copaiba in the mouth, 2 drops in the hand, pink pepper, boom. And what's the last one? Grapefruit, because that's really good for moving lymph. Boom. And I don't put it in the brush, Erin, but I just use my hand and act as if I had a brush. Boom, 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 across, give the girls a rub along the uterus. Sorry, boys, I know some of you on here, but that's just the way it is. That's what I use, and I just love it. And I get you smell so good. I'm like, I know, it's kind of my thing. I know.
Okay, so let's give the men some love. There is some stuff that men can be doing in this realm of conversation. So men are often concerned with prostate health, right? And of course, libido. So men, use the rose touch on yourself. Use the neroli on yourself. It's going to smell awesome. It's going to mix with your hormones. Your partner is going to be like, oh my goodness, what is that? But men can also do a rectal suppository or a rectal massage for the prostate. And you could do frankincense would be great. It's not in the BOGO box, but sandalwood actually increases testosterone.
Yeah.
And sandalwood is going to have some of those cellular protective elements as well. And men, you're going to learn more about this next week, but men could be taking the phytoestrogen complex to protect their prostate. And men should be taking DDR Prime every day, drinking wild orange if they want to protect their cellular health as well. And then balance, I'm jumping, Josie, to balance. But balance is like the best aftershave ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So introduce that to your man or the guys that are on here.
A really good dye blend for the prostate and the guy areas that I think is not too floral and stuff is when you think about cellular health in carrier oil is the frankincense. Sandalwood is a big one, right? Sandalwood is really connected with testosterone and male health. So frankincense, sandalwood, pink pepper, and copaiba. I'll talk. And so those 4 as a base, you could add something that you like in there, like cedarwood would be nice for men. That's very pro-cellular health, right? Anti-cancerous right there. So that's a nice one for men. And thank you, Diane. Let's do a shout out. That was really great. Her booby blend. Yes. Okay. We're coming to a close. I have 2 shares I want to do. Right. We didn't talk about much, but that was great about balance. So for HPV, right? Should I go with this, or is that later? What do you think? Right? Because it's like at least 25 to 50% of women and as we're going on in the younger ages, it's getting higher and higher percentage that are positive for HPV, the human papillomavirus. So common. And I do think that we can really help with our vaginal health. And you do know that if you get positive for that, that can be turned around. And even in, I can share my own personal story. I was all the way to, what is it? Still 3, which is almost precancerous. And when you get to that, you do have to do some kind of, you should do some kind of procedure to get what the cellular changes that have happened off. But they tell you that the DNA of the cells have been affected and that can't change. So that was way back. That was a long time ago before I even started doTERRA. And that's what my gynecologist told me. She's like, well, we'll do this, this procedure for burning off the stuff, but then, you're always going to have this problem and the DNA doesn't change. And let me tell you, ladies, the DNA changes. So mine is completely gone negative, so that you can switch from the positive to the negative with the virus DNA. So this is wonderful to know. And so I'm not saying only use this. So you have to be very careful about where you are, but for mostly prevention and for then not having the virus come back after you've appropriately treated it, if it is a problem that needs external treatment, okay? There are definitely different blends you can do. And I don't have a blend up. I want to talk about, so this is a strain of a herpes virus. So in general, most viruses are herpes viruses. There's many versions of them. And I'm sorry, it's a different kind, but it's similar. And from my knowledge with all of those, we're going on a general viral, what we know is the thing that is really, really helpful, or not helpful, works incredible, is the beta carotene against herpes viruses. Very powerful. And the oil that is the highest in beta carotene is copaiba, then blue tansy, then yarrow balm. So you're going to want that in your blend, and you're going to want yarrow plum in a blend. So I would say yarrow plum and copaiba. The alpha flandrine in the pink pepper, big time. You're also going to think about oils like melissa, melaleuca, and lemon. And let's see, and frankincense and rose. So those are the oils that you would look at for creating, like we talked about with suppositories or tampons, little light soak, wearing it for the day or the night, and working it into a protocol. And so I want to talk that, and I wanted to give the, then also, so moving on, so there you go. That's recommendation of oils for HPV or herpes. And then Tiffin wanted to give a shout out for her big tip for pets. So this might be a good place to end, because it's an encompassing. She said, we all know how fireworks are for our dogs and our cats and our pets, and how awful 4th of July and all of that and fireworks is for them. And so she recommends starting before fireworks, like a week before, creating a blend of this, or start diffusing these 4 oils in the house and doing a blend and putting it on them, so you're getting their nervous system calmed down and you're getting them used to the blend. So by the time that all of that starts happening, because it's not just the day, it's that season, it's about 2 weeks, you're really helping them. And you can just see the visible nervous system go down. So you can imagine and they're all in this BOGO. So she says, literally combine balance. No, wait, oops, I'm sorry. It wasn't balanced. It's lavender, serenity, citrus bloom, and beautiful. Because you have that extra magnolia and Roman chamomile in the citrus bloom.
No, balance, serenity.
I messed up. It's like, shut up.
No, it's not beautiful. You wouldn't want to put that in there. It's balance and serenity are the really good basic ones. And then when you add citrus bloom and lavender, it becomes really, really like hypnotically soothing to dogs.
Thank you. I messed it up. So it's balance, serenity, lavender, and citrus bloom. And just equal parts of those, right? In a diffuser and a blend? Yes. So that really helps all of our loved dog ones with.
But there's a question real quick that we want to speak to, asking for cats too. You can use the oils with cats. You just have to majorly dilute it. So that'd be fine in the diffuser as long as your cats have a way out of the room and they're not stuck in a 300 square foot room with the diffuser. And if you're going to massage a cat with oil, the dilution ratio is very small. So you would make this blend that we're talking about, and then you would take 1 drop of that, mix that in a tablespoon of carrier oil, and that would be your massage blend for the cat. So it's kind of hard to make a little cat blend if you're not also making blend for the dogs. So my tip is save your empty bottles, and when they're basically vapors and nothing left in there, add your carrier oil to that, and that becomes your cat oils. And you can make a whole kit of cat oils that are safely diluted and helpful for them.
Well, do we have any? I think we're at a nice hour.
Well, you know, I know we're at the hour, but there's a powerhouse in there that we haven't talked about, which is eucalyptus.
And spearmint too. You were going to talk about.
Okay, so I'll do spearmint, and maybe you and Aisha can do eucalyptus, because boy, eucalyptus is needed right now. Spearmint is great as an alternative to peppermint. So if you are pregnant and you have morning sickness and peppermint's like too strong, sometimes peppermint gives pregnant women heartburn. Use spearmint instead. Spearmint is like the morning sickness oil. It's wonderful. Spearmint also helps you speak your truth. So if you ever have to go into a hard conversation, or you're writing your autobiography, or you're going live on Facebook and sharing something personal, do some spearmint on your throat. You can make Desiree Manindog's speaker blend, Speak Your Truth blend, which we'll put up on the website. But pretty much spearmint can replace peppermint when peppermint is not the best for you. Like if peppermint is too hot on your skin, or if peppermint gives you heartburn, or if peppermint is just too strong. And as Ellen said earlier, blend your spearmint with rose. OMG, yummy. Totally use spearmint for nursing mothers. Yes, it is fine. You can use peppermint for nursing mothers. It's not going to automatically dry up your breast milk. It's if you used a ton that it would dry up your breast milk. And for nursing mothers, if that's ever a concern, just use copaiba, basil, or fennel, and it will increase your breast milk like crazy.
Ooh, that's juicy. Well, let's see. I use eucalyptus straight up in the sauna. A lot of the times it's a good one for a hemorrhoid type astringent for varicose veins. I've used it in varicose vein recipes. Louise, or is there do we have anyone in the chat that wants to give some of their favorite uses for eucalyptus? I mean, it's just all things long.
Ellen's got a good one. We could let Ellen go. She was telling me something earlier. Go for it, Ellen.
I'm gonna really try to not to ramble this time. So I recently came across a couple of clinical studies, and I'll see if I can find them, but they're about the antiviral properties of eucalyptus. So basically, hospitals like Johns Hopkins have been studying it, and they have found that it can help decrease viral transfer. So just this idea that we are being exposed to each other, and like the virus is kind of hopping from one person to another, for lack of a better term. And when you consistently use eucalyptus, both diffused and topically on your body or in your mask, you can help prevent the transfer of a virus. So that is really cool to know. And the more I learn about eucalyptus, the more I'm like, wow, this is really actually a very powerful essential oil. Like I totally underestimated it before.
Thank you for that, Ellen. That's because, right, let's review the 5 oils in On Guard. Cinnamon, clove, rosemary, eucalyptus, and wild orange. And that's a, right? It's a huge, powerful blend. And they just wouldn't put eucalyptus in there like, yeah, we just have a lot of it. I think we'll put it in there. No, that's not right. They chose rosemary and eucalyptus very carefully for that powerful blend.
Dr. Vivian has a testimony. We'd love to hear that if you want to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. This isn't exactly compliant, but I'll say it's anecdotal. I was at a dinner party and the host was preparing dinner and over the sink, and the guests were, sharing conversation and asking everybody what they did. And it got around to, of course, essential oils. So I'm in the middle of talking about why I liked essential oils and what they did. And the host was leaning over the sink and went into an asthma attack. And I just happened to have a bottle of eucalyptus, and I just grabbed it and started. We were ready to call 911, but I just had the eucalyptus, and so she started inhaling it. And after about 3 breaths of deep inhaling eucalyptus, she was totally fine. And so we just went back to the party. But what was so funny about it, in a way, it wasn't funny that it happened, but it was just so funny because I was talking about how powerful the oils were, and well, there we had a demonstration in real life. It was just really kind of wild. Anyway, that was my eucalyptus testimony. So it was pretty cool.
Thank you. To add to that, I've mentioned this before, but everybody should also know that lavender is an antihistamine. And so if anybody ever goes into like a major allergic attack, start dropping it under their tongue, and it can really turn things around. So lavender is good for so many things, but major allergies, get it out and just keep applying it until things shift. And that's the power of all of these oils, right? When we have that crisis, if we just pull out an oil, sometimes that can really turn things around quickly and, save somebody from being rushed to the hospital even at times.
Right. Everybody was kind of blown away. And you know what? Including myself, when stuff like that happens and it's a really serious situation, you kind of teeter on the edge. But I think that my response was so fast. I didn't have time to think, oh, should I dial 911 first or do this first? It was like, no, I am acting now. I am doing this. So my mind didn't go into, oh, I should have called 911 first. I just grabbed the oil, and it just worked so fast that, it was fine.
Oh, that's so great, Vivian. Thank you.
I know. It was so great.
Asha, do you want to give your testimonial? It sounds like Asha has a huge testimonial as well.
Also, can I share my screenshot real quick? I want to show kind of a little bit of what I talked about a couple of weeks ago with eucalyptus and points and how it resolves phlegm in the lungs and moves that kind of lung chi. I'll just share it. You guys can take a screenshot, and if you have questions, I think you have the download up, right? I'll just show you real quick. So that's kind of a little bit about eucalyptus and acupuncture points that you can use it on. So again, it's releasing the exterior just means, just read where it says notes. That'll be very effective for you, because anytime you get congestion in your lungs, which this virus is definitely creating a lot of congestion in the lungs, a lot of very thick phlegm. And so eucalyptus is really good for releasing that. And just from a shelter in place shelter in place kind of feeling that a lot of people might be feeling at this point, it helps people release that kind of hemmed in feeling. So it actually disperses negative feelings and grief. So it's really good to support the lung, because the lung, as you know, Ariana talked about, is really a lot of, harbors a lot of grief. So this is a really good one to help release some of that.
Diane, can you quickly show us on your body where those points are?
Oh, yeah, sure. So lung 7, on the thumb side of the side of your wrist, there's a little bump there. This is called the radial side, so radial tuberosity. And if you're following the side of your hand up, finger, and you'll run right into that bump. So as you're leaning kind of tucked into that bump, that's lung 7. And that's a really good one for moving lung qi. And to kind of help release some fever, you can, clears heat. It's right between the wrist crease and, I can't think of this little bump, whatever this bump is called, right in between. It's kind of the fleshy part. That's this is lung 7, this is LI 11. Large intestine 11, and lung and large intestine are called paired organs. But you could also use it on kidney 7, which is really about when you're taking a deep breath, it's grasping the chi. Or you can use it lung 1, which great way to find lung 1 is if you put your arm straight out and you create this little triangle. It's like at the bottom of the triangle closest to the deltoid. So that's a good one for grief. I really like that one for grief, moving grief out.
Just really quickly, guys, I wanted to piggyback on Aisha's antihistamine testimonial, and this is just so powerful that I really wanted you to hear it. My husband's a professor, and he takes students. We both do work in India, and so he had students in India last May, and one of them started to go in anaphylactic shock. They were 45 minutes from their hotel. She neglected to tell anybody she had an EpiPen. She didn't have it with her. So they got in the taxi and called me, and I had set one of the students up with oils. And I said, is this student in the car? Yes. Does she have lavender? Yes. I said, you put 2 drops on her tongue. You're going to put it on the back of her neck. You're going to have her inhale it. By the time they got back to the hotel, she did not need the EpiPen. This is a strong antihistamine. Okay, that is an unbelievable testimonial. I just can't tell you how strong it is. So as Aisha said, use these tools. They are powerful. They do work.
Thank you, Asha. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Vivian. All
You know,
right.
I just have to make a shout out really quick because this speaks to something really important. Does everybody have one of these doTERRA keychains? Don't ever leave the house without it. This is your 911, your own little emergency bag wherever you are. Don't ever, ever, ever leave the home without the oils, and you can keep everything you need right in here. You never know when someone might need some lavender or some eucalyptus or something in that emergency state. It is such a great thing to go to, is a first line until you get other support, and hopefully then you don't even need it. So just wanted a little shout out for why everyone should have a keychain on them all the time.
Aisha, real quick, tell us what's in your emergency keychain kit. Oh, you're muted.
My emergency kit actually looks more like this or like this. I always have the 15 mils, and I have it's anyway. Why don't I put it on the website? I don't want to take up the time now because I have so much in here that I don't want to start unpacking my kits right now.
Why don't people in the chat tell us what are the 3 oils you would never leave home without in your emergency kit? And then Aisha will post hers on the website.
Yes. Well, Slim and Sassy is always in mine. I also know that Mandy had a testimony And so if you want to hop on, Mandy, and give your testimonial while everybody lays that out.
All right, and then we got to close up soon.
Yeah, so I'm in the car, so sorry I'm not on video, but I just, I literally have been talking about the Bogos since it dropped at 11 o'clock our time last night. And yet I still am impressed sometimes how we get so caught up in things we forget to actually use our tools. And I had a really emotional conversation with my dad on the phone this morning, and it brought to like things. And a lot of you know that I struggled with depression for a long time, and that doTERRA is a huge part of my story. And I just want to shout out to today's logo because
Mandy, you're cutting out. You're cutting out really bad.
Yeah.
Mandy,
we're
okay.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I was on my car phone. So I'll make it short. So I was super emotional and I was having a pretty rough day after this phone call, and I was just drawn to Rose. And it's funny because I've been talking about it all morning long, and it was in a different room and I ignored it at first. And about 15 minutes later, it was literally like I could almost hear this little voice calling me from the other room. And I was in tears because I was just having this conversation, and I went into the other room while I was actually still on the phone, and I started rolling Rose all over. And it was literally like somebody just took me by the hand and gave me this huge, beautiful, just comforting hug. And I literally was able to take a deep breath for the first time since that morning. And then I walked out into my living room, and I have citrus bloom everywhere. For me, it's like crack candy, and I bought, I think, 20 of them the last time it was on sale. And I started diffusing the citrus bloom, and within about 15 minutes, I felt totally fine. And I had been triggered so bad on this call that I was in a really hard place. So I just, for those of you from the emotional perspective, like, it's such a powerhouse for, infections and wound healing and all these things. I use it all the time for that. But for that, when you really need to feel love, when that thing inside of you that just doesn't respond when somebody tells you that they love you, for me, Rose and Beautiful and Citrus Blend, ironically, or Bloom, are probably my 3 go-tos for that headspace. So thank you. You guys did an awesome job.
Oh, Mandy, thank you so much. That's a beautiful, I just put my rose does have the sandalwood drops in it though, my rose sandalwood. And let's all do that if we have it. And a beautiful reminder, right? The protection that Rose, that Queen of Oils, gives us against outside threats, but really the biggest protection is helping us to come into our center and into our connection with our love within ourselves and our love with the divine, and having that connection and that deep place of knowingness in ourselves. And so it is, if you are in difficult places and deep, darker places, these oils are here for us, and they are here to help us, and remembering that, and that doTERRA knows that it has been a difficult time for so many people. Why do you think they chose oils like frankincense, rose, the citrus bloom, and the beautiful blends, and then we also having the serenity balance? I mean, the powerhouse of all of their blends that are here to support us in emotional wellness. And then things to help with are also our microbial and lung wellness. So thank you, everyone. What an incredible call. I love this so much. I think we all do, this sharing and coming together and learning and connecting. I learned so much from everyone, and we all learn from each other. We have one more oil talk next week. It's our last one, and it is going to be a powerhouse. You guys just got to see a little bit of Dr. Vivian Engelson, and she is going to be with us on Oil Talk next Wednesday, and that's a Wednesday the 29th at 12 Pacific time, so it's 3 o'clock Eastern. But yeah, so our last Oil Talk is next Wednesday at noon, and it is going to be featuring Dr. Vivian. So Dr. Vivian is an acupuncturist, and she's going to talk with us, though. She's like me. She loves to geek out on all the nutritionals and the science, and we love to talk about it. And she's going to do a deep dive. I'm not like an hour and 40 minutes like I do a deep dive probably. So don't worry. No, but she's going to go over a lot of the supplements within doTERRA, the formulas that sometimes do not get misunderstood, especially the phytoestrogen complex, and who can benefit from this, how can they benefit, also the Mito-2 Max, some of the lesser known formulations, and all the little special details, and you want to know. And this woman is an incredible researcher, so I'm excited to tune in. That's next Wednesday. And then know that we also have our Oils Made Easy talks, right? Everyone can come and join us on that. Aisha Harley is going to be leading the next one. So that's our introductory kind of oils class, but it's really fun to come and join us there. And that's next Tuesday at 4 p.m., Oils Made Easy with Aisha Harley, Tuesday the 28th. And we'll have 2 of them next month in May. We'll have the Oils Made Easy on the 5th and the 19th as well. So...
And Rosie, one more thing. So if anyone is feeling sad that Oil Talks is going away, who's feeling sad, I am. We want you to know that we have a weekly community call Wednesdays at 10 a.m. starting May 13th. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. you can join us, and think of it as your mini Oil Talks. So we won't be able to talk for an hour and a half like we did today. There is a chance every week to come and continue to learn about these oils. And we've also talked about doing pop-up oil talks. If the environment changes or something comes up, or we're just feeling like we need to get back together like this, just look for pop-up oil talks as well.
Yeah, thank you, Erin. Right? I mean, we're all going to get back into a more streamlined schedule. And so to be able to have our mini oil talks every Wednesday morning, I think is going to be incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Where will they be? Can you remind people where to find them?
Yes. So everything you need to know about all our events, you can find on hellovisionary.life/events. And I'll put that in here, but there's a calendar there. It gives you all events coming up, the Zoom links, the time. You can use it to invite people. So hellovisionary.life/events.
Yes. So those talks, Erin, can you just go over quickly the new schedule with the talks will start on the second Wednesday. It's a little bit confusing, but the second Wednesday of May, and then forevermore they'll be every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Exactly. So we have a weekly 10 a.m. call. It's like our mini oil talks. Then Ariana Harley does a monthly webinar where she goes into one oil very deeply. And then quarterly, Aisha Harley and her Essential Wellness team do the Empowered Life series. And the next one for that is June 10th, and that will be Stephanie King talking about thriving beyond cancer. So that's a deeper health webinar. So you have a weekly, a monthly, and a quarterly educational opportunity. And of course, everything's archived on our websites, hellovisionary.life and essentialwellness.life, so you can always review, including these oil talks. We'll be putting all the recordings up for you after Vivian's call on Wednesday. So if you're, missing the education until we meet again on the 13th, just dive into reviewing all the oil talks, because there was a lot. We put out so much information, and it is a whole course in essential oils.
I just want to say to everyone that we're doing Spearmint next month, and since that was one of the BOGOs, tune in and we'll do deep dive of how you can use that Spearmint more as well.
Great. And Ariana is also, you're going to have an encore performance of your oil talk on May 13th, because it didn't
that's correct.
So we get to see it again. And so that'll be live. Everyone can join us.
And just one more thing. We have so much to offer, but I really want to stress, we all love our oils so much, right? I just can't imagine my life without my oils. We love them. Please share them with your family and friends right now. People need this. They need community. They need this education. They need these oils. And that is why we are doing we're doing the oil introduction classes, Oils Made Easy. So that way you can invite your friends and your family to come to the class. It's super short. It's really basic. We promise not to talk about oil suppositories in that class. and then that way you can help them enroll. So that is our way to help you share if you're not really sure how to share all this information that we have. And then once they get their account, they can then start coming to these deeper dives and continuing to learn with us. So please, please, please share with your family and your friends.
All right. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.